Am I aging out of a couple of holidays here? Especially maybe Halloween? You know, I got the candy all ready to go here. I got the bowl. So much good candy to pass out. But are they coming to my door? Nope, they're not. No more little kids knocking on my door. I think I'm aging out of this holiday. Yep. I still got the costumes. I got a whole bucket of all kinds of costumes for Moosie and I. And we used to dress up on Halloween, and as all the little grandkids and neighborhood kids would come knocking on the door, they'd love it that we were greeting them at the door in costumes and things. And, you know, when I think way back to when I was a child and we had those funny little costumes that you would sort of tie on because it was usually freezing cold on Halloween. And we'd go out with our little bags to collect candy. It was still fun for me and for Moosie, more for me. When we had our family home and all the kids were of trick-or-treating age, I would go out and clip the birch trees and get all the branches because the leaves are all gone by then. And I would bring them in and hang them in our dining area. It was kind of a high-ceilinged circular area with a big chandelier. And then I'd take that funny stuff and make cobwebs all over the branches. And Moosie was all dressed in his costume. He would rush home from work. The kids were so excited. And we would do the old dunk in the apples and a few other things. Of course, we had 6 kids, and usually a couple of the neighborhood kids used to love to come in and be part of our family thing, too. Those were the days. They had costume parades at school, and I'd be busy sewing costumes. One year, I made a Chewbacca costume for Mikey, and it was too hot in California. Poor kid was just sweating underneath it, but he did win a prize. I remember Colleen, a couple of years, she was a little witch. One year she was a fairy with wings, and so exciting getting the kids all ready. Well, then when we became grandparents, you know, the kids would still be stopping by. Colleen's kids were all little, would be dressed up in costumes. And even when they were in high school, going maybe to a party, Ryan would come down and share her costume with me before she went out to her party. So much fun. But we do live up in the hills now, and I will give you that. No, nobody's going to come knocking on the gate down there and up the long driveway. As you know, when you go out trick-or-treating, you want those good neighborhoods where the lights are all on and the parents are at the door giving out candy. You know, the memories are great. And, you know, for a while there, even some of our kids would bring their little grandkids up, drive them up before they went out on the streets, especially the ones that lived really nearby. And they'd always want to go see Nanny, and Nanny would still be dressed up. I was the perennial witch because it was the easiest costume, and I did have a couple of these hats around. Today, I couldn't find my witchy gown. I had one of those church black gowns that the altar boys would wear underneath their white cassocks. I had an old one of those that I would wear. But I do still have some of the jewelry, and I can always put that makeup on my face. Last year, I tried to do a really clever Halloween video. And I thought, aha, I know what I'll do. I'll dress up in my witchy costume and I'll go into the bedroom. You know, we have that big rock corner fireplace. It's nice and dark and all these, it's made from native stones that were collected on the property. And I'll pretend that I just came down the chimney like Santa Claus would do. You know, trying to be too clever. So I set up my tripod and my camera in there. I don't know where Moosie was. He was probably in here in his chair. And I got down into the opening part. Well, not all the way in, but pretty far into the open part of the fireplace. Didn't obviously have any fires going in there, of course. And I started, before I did all this, I started the video on my camera. And then I went and got down and I did my little bit pretending I had ashes on my cheeks. You ought to go back and watch last year's Halloween, at least the beginning. And I announced that I had just come down the chimney and I was here to see all the little kids and give out my candy. So after I did my little intro bit, I tried to get up. And you know what it's like when you have bum knees. Well, this must have been, it was. Halloween was before I tore my meniscus in my knee. This might have helped. And I could not get myself up off the floor. I hollered to Moosie. Of course, he couldn't help. And I said, I think I'm stuck. Well, I kind of got on all fours, thinking that I could heave myself up that way. But I did crawl to one of the edges of one of the chairs. And I got up on my knees on the chair and up from there. So much for trying to be clever. I've also teased my hair. And this year, because my hair is still long, it's so fun as a Halloween costume. But who's going to see me? No one. Now, I want to talk to those of you who think that this is terrible for a Christian lady to dress up and celebrate Halloween. Well, Halloween does have its history. It goes way back to Celtic and thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago, to some celebrations that were celebrated way over in Europe somewhere. And this Halloween is nothing like that anymore. It is a secular holiday, which means it has nothing to do with Satan or Christianity or anything at all. It's just a fun night. It's the night before All Saints Day and All Souls Day. And of course, in Mexico, they celebrate the La Dia de la Muerte, where you pray for all the souls, all your family that has died. In fact, they build these beautiful altars to past grandmas and grandpas and great grandparents, people who have died within their families, and they pray for them. It has nothing to do with Satan or anything bad, believe me. And it's just a fun night for little kids to dress up in costumes, and has been for years and years, as a family event, and going out in the dark, trick-or-treating, and coming home with lots of candy. So that's all. That's the reason I'm here, just to kind of give you a couple of laughs, and I hope that all of you will have a safe and fun Halloween. As I think back on some Halloweens, past Halloweens in our lives, we had a Halloween, and this one goes way back to when Mikey and Colleen were, I would say, maybe 5 or 6 years old. And on Halloween night, everything in the house was all ready. We all had an early supper, something like a soup, because everyone wanted to get out. And of course, it got dark early, of course, and as it does at this time of year. And Moosie tried to get home as early as he could. And this particular Halloween night, we were all sitting in the family room, and there were some windows that went out to the backyard in the back, right behind the couch that the kids were sitting on. And evidently Moosie was trying to play a trick, a spooky trick on the kids. So he went around the back of the house and had one of these rubber masks that he put over his head, kind of a scary one. And he looked in the windows, and he scratched the windows and made a something, and the kids turned around and saw this face and screamed and hollered and everything. Well, he came running in the back door and pulled the mask off as he was coming in the door. Hi, it's me. And of course, then they laughed. Oh, Dad, why'd you do that? Well, the problem was that night that a couple of weeks before that, he had just gotten some new contacts for his eyes. And they were the ones that were really expensive at the time. Just when I think contacts were just coming out. And he somehow, one of the contacts came out of his eye and probably still is back there in the backyard somewhere, buried under about a foot of dirt. And that was a particularly fun Halloween, except for the fact that Moosie lost his contacts. You know, now that I think of it, I might not be completely aging myself out with my in my 87th year here, because now that I think of it, Debbie did invite me to her family Halloween Lollapalooza, that she calls it. And she and Barry have this wonderful party where they decorate the house and they all sit around this big farm table that she has. All their grandchildren and the kids, they play spin the pumpkin. And somebody spins the pumpkin and they're spin, 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 and they're playing this game. And then if it lands on points to you, then you get a prize. And she had all kinds of prizes. And then you get to spin the pumpkin. And they dunk for apples and they have all kinds of fun. Well, I think that day I had, something had been going on. And, I know, I was down at Mikey's. Oh, come to think of it, that's another holiday. Well, it's not Halloween, but it was part of fall. And Mikey and Sabrina had invited me down for the weekend. And actually, now that I think of it, I did have a fun weekend in a pumpkin patch and went through my first corn maze and made it out, by the way. And we had a hayride, so it was fun. But so far as having these little kids knocking on my door, it's not happening anymore. Colleen and Micah are empty nesters for this part of the year. The kids are all away at college. And no one has little kids anymore. Even our own children, their kids are grown right now. And so I don't have anyone knocking on my door to give out candy to. Am I going to eat it? Maybe one or two. I might, but I'll be very careful what I eat. How about you? Do you still have some fun on Halloween night? Do you get to see your grandkids or great-grandkids? Tell me what you do. But please, those of you who believe that we're all worshiping Satan, please don't comment, because it's not true. It's not true at all. Oh, my hat is definitely a tippy one today. I do have some Moosie news. I did have my meeting with the people at the skilled nursing place yesterday morning. And their projected date of releasing Moosie is somewhere around the 15th of November. They feel that he's made progress and is ready to go home with some PT at home and occupational therapy as well. Well, that's good. That's not bad, because we are having his neurosurgeon has ordered a CT scan, and that's being done on the 6th. And then we have an appointment with the neurosurgeon, a consultation on the 13th. So all this will happen before he gets released. And if by chance the neurosurgeon believes that it's too early for him to be released, depending on what the CT scan shows, we will be able to perhaps negotiate it. But as they explained to me, Medicare pays for 100 days in a certain period for you to be in a skilled nursing. If you have supplemental insurance, they pay the other 20% that Medicare doesn't pay. And she explained that this way, Moose would still have 30 days left of that 100 days in case, God forbid, something happened or he had to go back. And that's the way it all works. So we sort of felt that that was fair. So that's the news. And meanwhile, I will be going down for Mikey and Sabrina's little Lizzie, who is in a play, Beauty and the Beast, the weekend before. I believe that's the 8th or 9th. And I'll spend another weekend down there with him in San Diego. If Moosie were home, it would have been too early for him to travel anyway, I think. And what other news do I have? Colleen and Micah are home from their time up with Brendan in Oregon. And hey, how about them Dodgers, huh? You know, someone was saying, I wish they had lost last night's game, but then when they come back here, they have their win and win the World Series back here in Los Angeles. That might be a more fun time for everybody. Now, we do expect the parades. If this all happens and the Dodgers win tonight, they win the World Series. And I'm so happy for Freddie. His father must be so proud of him. He talks about growing up with his dad and dad being there with him every minute. He's had something like, he did another homer the other night. I mean, I talk like I know something about baseball. Not really. I'm just a fan for Moosie, that's all. So when I was out in the shed digging out my hat, I came across my teddy coat. Do you remember my teddy coat that I bought last year for Tessie's wedding and then wasn't able to go to the wedding because of my knee? Well, I didn't get much wear out of my teddy coat this year, and I'm really excited to wear it. Do you know today is quite a cold day? And I even had a vest on today as I was outside doing some chores. So looks like maybe as we approach November, we're going to start being able to wear those sweaters and vests and my teddy coat. I'll show it to you. A designer by the name of Max Mara came out with the teddy coat a year or two ago, and it was a couple $1,000s. Well, I found a dupe last year on Amazon, and I'll give you the link if it's still available. And I bought this cute teddy coat. It's long. It goes way down past my calves. It's cozy. You can put the collar up. And I modeled it in that. I'm not going to model it in my witchy outfit, but it is so cute. I'll stand back and show it to you. Look at how long this is. It has a beautiful lining. And I got it for $72, I think, on Amazon. I think now it might be up to $90. But cute, stand-up collar, and just the coziest thing in the world. So I'll model it with something else, but definitely not my witchy costume today. Oh, and thank you for all your suggestions as to what to do with Shamu and getting Shamu into a cozy bed. I tried taking that cozy blanket that he used to sleep on, Moosie's red Barca Lounge. I used to keep that in the seat, washed it. He didn't want anything to do with that anymore. He was sleeping up on a table over in the corner. And I thought, well, what a crazy guy. I've got all these cozy little places ready for him. Well, when I woke up early this morning, I looked out of my bedroom, and there he was, right down here next to my table, kind of next to a chair, all snuggled into that little green cozy bed. And I tried putting the blanket on it. He didn't want that, but somehow he decided to go in there. So I think that might be his new place. And by the way, I had already looked at some catnip spray and had it in my cart on Amazon, almost ready to order it. So I've canceled that. I don't think I'll need it. I'm going to make this a shorty one. I still have some things I have to do. Tomorrow I have my grandson Aiden coming to help me with a lot of finishing these jobs of packing up my summer things and reorganizing some of my tubs out there by the shed. One of these days, I think it's going to rain. As a matter of fact, yesterday, I think we had some raindrops. And one of these days, it's going to come, and I don't want to be caught with my pants down, as they say. So, my friends, I will not be giving out candy on Halloween. But I hope that many of you might have a chance to do something fun like that. It's okay. I'm not that bummed about it. It was one of my wonderful memories that will forever be in my heart. Of all the little children of mine and grandchildren and great-grandchildren and little neighbors that I did have fun with for all those years, they're in here. And that's okay. So I'm not really aging myself out of anything. I think I'll leave my hair like this for a while. Just kidding. Teasing is fun to do, isn't it? And you just keep going. Makes you look like you have a lot of hair. It would be great. My hair is getting long. You know, I think I might keep letting it grow and try out some of those hairdos. It seems many of you, when I look back over my videos, you prefer these hair and makeup ones. I know a lot of you say, oh, let's forget the makeup. I like the cooking, or I like when you tell us family news or whatever. But the videos that really still go viral are the hair ones and some of the things that we do with our face to keep us going. I'm still doing great with the castor oil. I have it on my knees today, and I've been washing things that I've worn over the castor oil. No stains whatsoever, so that's good. Even that jean shirt, I was a little worried about that. So we're still doing okay. I had the castor oil. Once again, I'm going to be putting it on, a little foundation on for this video. And I did put the castor oil on first. I want to see if it'll get rid of some of my little dark spots on my cheeks. Thanks so much for watching all our videos, even this one, which is just all about fun, nothing else. I love you all, and I appreciate your binging and your comments. It's really fun to have friends like you, especially as we are aging like we are, still being positive about everything that we can. Love you. See you real soon. Bye for now, and happy Halloween. And I hope you get lots of candy. And oh yes, God bless us all.